Hey, amazing creators! Converting an image to a cinematic video is quite simple and easy in Filmora. Today, we will show you how to convert a day into a dreamy cinematic night in Filmora 14. Keep watching. Before we begin, if you haven't already installed Wondershare Filmora, please visit the official website and download the latest version. Then install it on your computer. Also, remember to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. To create this animation, you just need an image of the jungle. Now, let's jump into Filmora. Start by placing your image onto the timeline. Let's transform that bright day scene into an enchanting nightscape. Head over to the Effects menu and dive into the New Blue Effects section. Inside the Filters folder, you'll discover the magical Day for Night filter. Drag and drop it onto your footage for an instant transformation. Now, let's tweak the settings to achieve that perfect twilight vibe. Change the tint color to a captivating, slightly darker shade of blue. It's all about creating that mysterious atmosphere. Adjust the tint value to 14 and crank the desaturation up to 60 to really set the mood. Next, expand the light settings and fine-tune the contrast to -3 and the brightness to -0.50. Then, dive into the Darken section. Set darkness to 3 for those deep, rich shadows. Adjust the sensitivity to 39 and soften it to 31 for that dreamy finish. Then, from the Filter folder, place the Selective Hue filter on your footage. Then, from Settings, choose the source color and select the bright color in your footage, then adjust the range to 51, hue to -9, saturation to 25, brightness to -14, and soften to 28. Now tweak the saturation for an incredible pop of color. First, apply the Saturation Modifier filter. Next, ramp up the saturation above to a thrilling 24 and set the threshold to a striking 42. For that vibrant finish, crank the saturation below to a dazzling 100 and smooth it all out to an impressive 95. Then we will apply the tint effect to make the whole scene a bit more bluish. Apply tint and then change the tint color to blue and change the tint value to 4. Saturation, -46, brightness, 17. Dive into the Color tab. Crank down the exposure to -40 for a moody vibe, lower the brightness to -20 for that dramatic touch, and pump up the contrast to 16 to make those visuals pop. Don't forget to drop the shadows to -41 for depth, while boosting the whites to 95 for that stunning brilliance. Next, let's spice things up in the HSL section. Select that gorgeous green hue and transform it by shifting the hue to 92, dialing down the saturation to -24 for a more subtle look, and tweaking the luminance to -9 for just the right amount of brightness. Finally, let's take things to the next level with some curve adjustments. Add points on the highlights, midtones, and shadows, and play around with them to create the perfect balance. Now, let's add some magical fireflies. Head over to the stickers and in the search bar, type Particles. Now, drag and drop the enchanting Dreamy Particles 04 right onto the timeline. Once you've done that, hop into the settings and switch the blend mode to screen. Now, in the search bar, type Smoke and press Enter, and you'll get lots of smoke options. Place the smoke on the timeline and change the blend mode to screen and change opacity value to 37. Now, select all the clips and create a compound clip. Then go to the Effects tab, then to New Blue Effects, and then to Essentials, and apply Sharpen effect on track 2, and change the strength to 50. Then go to the Video Effects and apply Cinematic Bar. Now we will add some filters on it. For that, go to the Filters tab and then to Cinematic, and apply Sunlit Siesta. Then apply Blue Bear filter, and at the final step, change the opacity to 50. Now, let's run to the project and see the preview. And here is the before and after comparison. Download Filmora 14 from the link in the description and give wings to your creativity. If you found this helpful, give us a big thumbs up and share it with fellow creators and editors. If you're interested in visual effects and tutorials, check out filmora.wondershare.com. See you in the next video.